All right, hey guys, it's your girl Jane. We're back. It's been months since I've done one of these. Yeah, I'm officially back. It's been months, and it's Frame by Frame with Jane. And this is a new segment that I'm introducing to my YouTube channel and also to my podcast. And it's the advice slash philosophical topics slash debate type of topics that we're going to be doing on this channel now and on this podcast. And I just wanted to let you guys know that this is just the new vibes. You know what I mean? I've asked like a couple of my friends on my spam account, on my IG page, like things like questions they have about philosophy and about life. And it's just something I thought would be interesting for me to start doing because I love philosophy. I've grown to love it over the couple of months, and I love discussing the topics that go into it because I feel like there's so many things we don't talk about, philosophical wise. If I said that wrong, then excuse me. And I think they're really important to talk about. I feel like some people aren't ready to talk about the deeper parts and actually question the morality and question the things that they want in life in general. So we're going to get started with the first question. Are emotions irrational? When I saw this question, I didn't really know how to approach it because there's two different ways to come from it. There's a logical aspect, there's a moral aspect, and then there's like, how do I feel about it aspect, you know? But I would like to say that I don't think emotions are irrational. I think they only really can be fully become irrational when you mix logic with emotional intelligence or with whatever emotion you're feeling. Like if you sit around here and you act out on your emotions and then, you're going to be met with a logical response. Like what consequence should you be faced with? So if you're upset about like somebody cheating on you or, you having a bad day and you decide to take it out on someone else and you eventually you will have to face consequences for whatever actions you choose in your life. I feel like everyone should know that. And emotions can be irrational, but they also can be very eye-opening because if you don't let yourself feel your emotions, then you're just putting everything down. Like there's no reason why anyone in their life should ever feel like, oh yeah, if I feel this way, it's not fair, it's not how I should feel. You should be able to feel whatever emotion you feel because that's an entitlement you always should be able to have. Like no matter what someone tells you, no matter if you don't have the money to feel that way or you just don't have what you think you need, your emotions are meant to be what you can't express. You know what I mean? Like you might not be able to say it in words, but your emotions, you'll feel it. You know what I mean? And I feel like your emotions can't ever be fully irrational, and to even think that your emotions are irrational is putting yourself in this catch-22 where it's like, okay, well, everyone's telling me I'm going to act irrational or I'm not being fair to them. Put yourself first. You know what I mean? Choose yourself as if you would choose your friend. Do you know what I mean? And choose your emotions as if they are a friend because your emotions are your friends. They're there to tell you, hey, this is what we don't like. Hey, this is what we do like. Like, how are we going to go about this? And your emotions are supposed to be something you're very interconnected with. So I don't even see who's telling you they're irrational, because someone has to be telling you, or you have to be psyching yourself out. You have to be thinking, okay, the decision I'm making is irrational to everyone around me, but to me, is it fair to you? And I think that's where the irrational part comes in. If you're cheating if you're cheating yourself for everyone else's pleasement or excitement or whatever they're going to get out of it for, that's not fair to you. You know what I mean? Don't think of it as like, oh yeah, like what's good for everyone. Think about what's good for you. Because the only one feeling your feelings is going to be you, and nobody can tell you how to feel about something. If it's a very traumatic experience, whether it's everyday to life, your feelings are your feelings. And I don't think them being called irrational is... Now, I do believe emotions can be over the top. I do believe that because sometimes, people do get dramatic. Like, I'm a dramatic person. Like, I'm very dramatic, right? But it gets to a point where you got to see it like, okay, think about it in different perspectives sometimes, whatever situation it might be. I don't think emotions are irrational. I do think we can do too much with them sometimes, though. Consider your consequences and your actions all at the same time, no matter what you're feeling, because the wrong decision can put you in somewhere you don't want to be for the rest of your life. So if this wasn't a piece of advice, I'd say start out with your emotions first, and then start off on how you can better those emotions or make yourself feel less of what you're feeling, or just feel it. Just feel it. Just feel it and then try to do some action. So step one, assess how you're feeling and then feel it. And then 3, decide what you're going to act out on upon it. You know what I mean? Consider the consequences and then apply logic. Because logic sometimes is okay. It's okay, right? If you're thinking long term, but it can really mess up, whatever healing or deep connection you need with yourself to get through. So they're not irrational, in my perspective. And irrationality is all dependent. Everything is so dependent in this world. So whatever you might consider irrational, like that might be keying someone's car is irrational for them cheating on you, or it's all subjective. A lot of philosophy is subjective, so whatever I'm saying might not be applicable to you, but it might be to the next person. And then I got, is happiness the most important purpose in life? And I had to think for this one for a long time because, growing up, I did see a lot of films telling me like, oh, I should just be happy, like being happy is the most important thing in your life. That's literally what, a lot of American films or just films in general will tell you. Like, for you to live your life fully, you have to be happy. And I 100% do not believe that. And it's coming from a standpoint of like, okay, if you are only ever supposed to be happy in your life and that's just supposed to be number one, that's only supposed to be the thing that you should have. Like, you should have this entitlement, this quote unquote purpose, which is really entitlement, because if you think you being happy is just going to be all the time and this should be the most important thing, you think you're entitled to have happiness. You know what I mean? And not everyone is blessed with the ability to feel happiness the way you feel happiness. You know what I mean? Or just to feel happiness at all. Some people are born without no emotions. Some people can't even feel emotions in general, And I don't think that happiness is such above every other emotion type of thing, because I think all emotions are on the same level. If you can't appreciate sadness, how can you appreciate happiness? And I feel like people say that a lot, but I don't think people actually catch on to it fully. We always talk about, having our gloomy days, needing a rain check, but most people don't even take rain checks. They don't care enough to take rain checks. They just make themselves feel good in the moment, but they're not really assessing how they feel. They don't really know how they feel about something or how they feel in general. And, even anger is a good emotion. And a lot of people would rather be sad or, would rather to put it in a different emotion rather than actually face how they feel. And I don't think that that's how it should always be. I think your most important purpose in life should be to feel everything. You have to feel everything. That is a purpose. To feel your accomplishments, feel your losses, feel your regrets, feel all of them. And I think that should be the most important. Because we all have emotions for a reason. If there's a reason to have emotion, why not feel the emotion? Emotion could be a good or bad thing, whatever good or bad means to you, but I do not think that should be even a purpose. I think that should be a goal, maybe being happy is a goal or something you would want to try, but I don't think that it should be a purpose, because your purpose is whatever you want it to be. It could be whatever you want it to be, and purpose is so fluid because no two people grew up the exact same way and live the exact same lives. There's 8 billion people on this planet. For you to live the exact same life as your neighbor is far less common, I think, than, giving birth to twins, and I feel like that's such a weird thing in American beliefs, is that, for you to be successful, you have to be happy, you have to have the American nuclear family lifestyle, but happiness isn't what people think it is. I think it's just feeling good in the moment and letting things go and appreciating sunset or sunlight, whatever you get out of it. But happiness is so dark. I think that's what it is. It's dark. It's, maybe not remembering everything and only choosing to think about this one thing that makes you feel warm inside, but you're not thinking from all points perspective. You have to be able to feel everything all at the same time, but go about it in a healthier way, I'd say. And happiness is not that. I think you'll never fully know happiness until you not only let everything go, but feel everything. I think that's what happiness is feeling everything and not beating yourself up about it. And just being here, mentally here, not thinking about the future, not thinking about the past, but being here. Like being able to be present, conscious, and live. That's all it is for happiness for me. And yeah, I think that's how I feel about happiness being the most important purpose in someone's life. What must be true in order for us to say that something exists or doesn't? Ooh, what? Okay, this question also got me in a little bit of like a catch-22 because it is a logical question. And you could say the same thing about religion. Like, why do people believe that God is here, like God ever existed, if there's no scientific evidence that he was, and there was just books that people wrote themselves to help others believe, okay, there's something we can hope in, you know what I mean? But I feel like this is such like a religion and like, what is the truth? And I don't think the truth, I believe in like the truth is whatever you want the truth to be. Do you know what I mean? Like people lie by omission all the time. Like people, believe in things that there's no evidence behind. But I think for us to like believe that something exists or doesn't, there has to be hope. There has to be hope is just to say, okay, I'm going to give my worries up for hope. Hope that I won't be disappointed. Hope that things will pass. Hope that things will get better. And I think that's why a lot of people go to religion for a lot of their problems is because they're hoping for something. They're hoping that if they believe in this, they will get something out of it. And it's more like a law of exchange. If you practice this, you'll get something out of it. If you do this, you'll get something out of it. It's never really a thing out of genuine connection. I feel like some people only follow certain ideologies or beliefs because they think they will get a monetary thing out of it, or they'll get less guilt from whatever actions they've taken in the past. And other than the religious part, I think a lot of people just do things to get out of it, and in a sense, if you know what I mean. Like, you living your life is like, it's a small chance of like you actually getting to the age of 50, right? And for you to like believe that you're never gonna die, or to believe that you are gonna die one day, is just it's a thought. And the truth is, I hate saying like things are true because I'm a very logical person in general. Like in most of my like the way I live my life is very logical, I'd say, and it's been more emotional recently, but the truth is so wishy-washy with everyone because some people think if you hide out certain parts, it's still the truth as long as it's still the main idea. But there's no such thing really as the truth. Everything is just what you want to believe is the truth, right? And for you to believe something that is not true, there has to be something backing that up. And I think it's all up to you. I think this is really a bit more of a religious conversation, and I'm not really a religious person, never really been in my whole life, because I always looked at it from the more logical side. So I mean, I'm a person, if there's no evidence, I'm not going to believe it, but if there is, I'm going to believe it. But then the thing about evidence or logic and reasoning behind this is that things like that can be tampered with. Like there's no going back, and this question is really, I don't think I can answer this question fully to what my friend wanted me to, discretion-wise, because I don't think I even have this figured out fully. Because I'm really looking at it from a philosophical stance, and a logical stance is like, what is the truth? What makes something true? Is it what people tell you to believe, or is it what you actually believe? And then I had another question, like, what do I personally believe happens after death? What do I believe happens after death? I think nothing. And that sounds depressing. That sounds really depressing to a lot of people whenever they start talking about religion and like them going to heaven or, you know, whatnot, whatever religion you believe in. And I think of it more as like a peace of mind thing. Like, I feel like if I were to hold the standard that I would be going somewhere good or bad or wherever because I did these quote unquote right actions and so I quote unquote deserve it, I think that would be kind of effed up in my head. Do you know what I mean? Like if I did good actions, I didn't actually live my life the way I wanted to live my life. So if I had lived it fully just how I wanted to live it, will I go somewhere good? You know, and I think that's where Christianity kind of gets me is like, if I live my life fully without any restrictions and, you know, nobody's telling me how to live it, am I like, if I don't go to heaven, am I fully living? If I go to hell, did I actually live my life the way I wanted to? Because I feel like the heaven and hell kind of description is kind of like people want you to be the good person, but what is being a good person? There is no such thing as being a good person in this world. People make mistakes all the time. People mess up all the time. And for you to be 100% good all the time is fallacious. It's genuinely fallacious. And I don't believe there's anything as a bad person either. I think everyone is morally gray. We all have some point where we say, no, this isn't good as society and when you say it yourself. So I think nothing happens in death because why would I want to hold on to something? Why would I want to hold on to my life when it's already been lived? If I've already lived my life and I've already done the things that I need to do, or even if I don't do the things I need to do, why would I hold on? I think what happens after death is letting go of everything and not holding yourself to the standard as, oh, I just didn't get to do everything, but I lived for the time that I did, and that's it. I feel like some stories need to end, and I think that's what would happen after death. Your story is done. It's over, and that's okay, because some people can't ever let go. Do you know what I mean? Some people never want to let go, and you have to be able to let go of your life and whoever's life, you know, you ever have to see pass away. And death is such a vital like topic because nobody ever really wants to speak about it, but I think it can be really good to just think like what happens after. But I genuinely believe nothing. There's nothing that I can hold on to, and there's nothing I want to hold on to. I think it's just pitch black darkness, and then whatever energy you had in your life is probably passed on to reincarnation or, you know, someone, or just the universe's need. I mean, you know, you were brought here by the universe, you know, so I think it would just take it away and put it into some energy. You might be a star in a couple eons and stuff. So I think that's what happens after death. And, you know, I guess I'll give some advice about the whole what happens after death thing. I think if you can't come up with what will happen after death, you know, how can you live your life? Because I know people are always afraid of death, but you have to be able to realize, like, you're not gonna usually find a consequence in your life, you know, like the way you would if you were going to go to like hell or something. Like, you know, live your life the way you want to live it, but don't let death scare you out of living it. But yeah, I think that's all I got. And I know I did talk about the Christianity thing, but I live in America, and like I live in the South, so I mean that's like a very like prevalent religion here. I don't really know too much about a lot of others, and yeah, I think that's it for this episode. Yeah, guys, I mean, just live your life. Live it. You literally only live once, and whatever emotions or happiness or truth or even death occurrences that you ever experience, it will all add up and your story will be shared. Even if you think it's not, it will be. And I think that's all I got for today. So I hope you guys like this episode of Frame by Frame with Jane. This episode will be out on Spotify also. So yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll be back soon. I was also thinking about doing like a relationship segment one, but I don't know about that one. Or just like anything in general. So yeah, that's all I got today, and bye.